This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Daily with Doc and Becca, where we bring you real answers, real hope, and real solutions to your health and your life. So today we are we're going to have a really powerful conversation today. So if you're someone that carries a lot, achieves a lot, gives a lot, and yet quietly feels exhausted on the inside, this episode is for you. So today on Daily with Doc, we want to make sure that if you were invited to this program by somebody specific, you get back with them, they cared enough about you, return that, sense of care and say thank you. Because they're going to be your number one contact. Chances are they are part of an amazing community, which we are a resource for. So we want to make sure that if anybody shares this program with their friends, family, loved ones, that they know, as in you, know to get back with the person that shared this program with you. Okay. And if there is nobody to thank, you found it all on your own. I do have a team of certified holistic health coaches that can be reached at 855-949-3377. So hello, everybody. I know we got the Zoom room open. Yes, we are live in our recordings. So if you'd like to join us, you can go to zoom.dailywithdoc.com. Make sure that you register the first time you go there, and we will confirm who you are and I'll let you in the next time if you're not on our block list. So we have to do this just to keep it as a safe place for us and everyone. So without going deeper into that, I just want to welcome each and every one of you to Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes. I am a certified naturopathic practitioner and also a certified holistic health coach and the director of student services for the Institute of Holistic Health. Like I said, we are a resource for an amazing community. And I love the fact that we do, like I said in the beginning, we bring real answers, real hope, and real solutions for your health and your life. Well, today we are honored to welcome Dr. Lisa Singletary to the show. Dr. Lisa is passionate about helping high-achieving individuals recognize when their drive and dedication have crossed into depletion. She speaks directly to those who look successful on the outside, but feel overwhelmed, overextended, and worn down behind the scenes. Her work around the exhausted overachiever shines in compassionate light on the hidden cost of constant performance, and more importantly, offers a pathway back to balance, clarity, and sustained energy. Dr. Lisa, we are so grateful to have you here with us. Thank you for bringing your wisdom, your heart, and much needed message to our audience. And, you know, some of us that maybe host the show or co-host the show. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It's always a joy to have you on with us as you bring such a dynamic, colorful experience for us. And we absolutely love that about you. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. Thanks for being our doc, as Dr. Lisa Singletary is a retired medical doctor who has found the importance of nutrition and lifestyle beyond just handing out pills. So, you know, it's unique that you have the medical background, yet you've crossed over. Can you share a little bit about what helped you think about and make that decision to cross over?
Thank you so much, Becca. That introduction, I don't think I've ever been introduced so beautifully. So thank you so much. And it just
Absolutely.
being here with your staff, um, getting the pre-show. So I wish people could see the pre-show, the professionalism and the value that you bring to the community, even behind the scenes. And I'm just appreciative to be here. And thank you for AJ inviting me to the Holistic Hustler school group. I feel like so so privileged, and I'm going to learn a lot, and I hope to contribute something too. So thank you. All right.
Awesome.
So
We
yes,
look forward to that for
thank
sure.
you.
You're welcome.
I grew up on a farm, so this is really not a 180 from medicine for me. It's a 360 back to my beginnings. Because on the farm, my grandparents were the neighborhood, um, I guess you could say healers.
Mhm.
My grandfather would go out into the woods and he would get barks and leaves and roots and uh, some fruits, but my grandmother would make the poultices and she had the recipes and the poultices, teas, whatnot. And people would come and bring chickens or bushels of corn or in exchange for their treatment. And it was just a very, the word that comes to mind right now is holistic, right? It was very community. It was a community. They took care of each other, and it was beautiful. And when my grandparents passed, my cousins and I were like, we didn't get the recipes, right? And then I went to medical school, and all of this was educated out of me, and even later on, I tutored a friend, a former student, and I was tutoring him in pharmacology. And I said, bring your textbook. We're going to go, we're going to go through the book. And he's like, well, where do we start? I said, well, how about the prelude? So we started in the first couple of paragraphs. He was taught in this maybe $300 textbook that vitamins and minerals were quackery. And, then went on to be very carefully taught about the pharmaceutical industry and the pharmaceutical drugs. But I was shocked. I guess I never read the prelude on mine. I just I got the knowledge. But when my parents were both, one was bedbound, one was wheelchair bound. And I had to go home and be the primary caretaker for them. And so I left my practice behind. And I found out I really had to be a health advocate for them. And that wasn't, I realized they needed more than just prescriptions. And so my mother had some bed sores from when she was in another facility, and we brought her home. And I used honey on her wounds, right?
Like
I
Manuka honey or
Manuka honey, and just different things that I was able to glean. Thank the Lord for the internet, because I didn't have that knowledge from training. But I was shocked at how well these natural remedies worked. And then a friend introduced me to BTT, to this amazing vitamin, mineral, multivitamin, multi-mineral mix. And I said, finally, we've got the formula. Like, I don't need any more recipes. We've got a recipe that works. And so to have something that is natural and something that is powerful, something that is effective, and has changed my life tremendously. I think I have a slide where I talk a little bit about my bio, but based on just nutrition, I was able to lose over 150 pounds and get out of a wheelchair, because after 8 years of taking care of my parents, I needed my father's wheelchair just to get around the house. And to have I knew no prescription that I could write or that I could have a friend write would get me out of that wheelchair, or, do anything for my body except maybe dull some pain, which I had a lot of it, but at the risk of kidney disease or liver disease or addiction. And I was like, I don't want to choose any of those. So what's the alternative? So I was fortunate to find an alternative that worked for me and made my body better.
Thank you for sharing that. And that whole 360 thing is pretty cool, because we're going back to roots, right? back to how we were
Back
raised,
to
back
or
to
back to the beginning, back to the
the
origin.
beginning.
Yeah,
And, when it comes to using food and herbs as medicine, that goes back thousands and thousands of years.
yeah, absolutely.
So vitamins and minerals, quackery. We had ducks. They were pretty smart.
Yeah, so
I don't
I'm
think it's
thankful
quackery.
because once I took care of my parents for 8 years and I was in that state, and then I had such a turnaround myself personally, I couldn't go back. I couldn't go back into the system. And so I started getting some education, and I became a certified holistic health coach. And wow, what an education that was, and a community that is. So
Mhm.
I'm very fortunate that my desire, I can remember from the age of 6, my number one mission in life was to help people. And my hero on TV was Marcus Welby, MD. And interestingly, and I don't know how many people remember Marcus Welby, MD, but he was always in people's homes and in their barns and at their jobs. And, he was always in the community. He wasn't stuck in the office. He had, his sidekick doctor to do that. But I really wanted to be involved in people's lives and help them. Now, I didn't know what
Mhm.
that meant at 6. And after decades in the medical system, I wasn't always sure I was really helping people because they were coming back or not week after week, but month after month, getting the same prescriptions with the same complaints, with the same um, side effects. And I thought, I really was not comfortable my last years of practice. And so everything just came together. So,
Well, I'm so glad that it came together because that's how you and I met.
yes,
And now here we are. I think the first time we met was 5 years ago. And here we are on a show together, helping people around the world. So let's go ahead and jump into helping us high achievers, the ones that are exhausted from being an overachiever.
absolutely. So, if I may, I have a little slide deck that I could share. And this is my girl. This is me, right? The exhausted overachiever. And how many of you can relate to that? Or how many of you know an exhausted overachiever? Um, and at the at the height even of her career, something's happening from this depletion that is in her life. So we want to take her on the road from depletion to divine overflow. But who is she? So my, I'll say ministry is mostly to women 40 plus. Now, if you're 35, if you're 30, you still may have some of the same symptoms coming in because our deficiencies are so vast, and our SAD, our not seasonal affective disorder. There's the other SAD, the standard American diet, is so filled with pesticides and ultra processed foods and seed oils and gluten and all of the bad foods, right? And
Mhm.
so we're finding chronic issues even down into childhood. So just because I've identified 40 plus does not mean that someone younger can't be helped by this information. In fact, I hope they do embrace this information. But we're talking about the high capacity, high performing um, women mostly, men, listen up. All right, this could be you too, or this could be the woman in your life, but this just happens to be my focus because it's me, right? They a lot of times they'll say in marketing, you market to yourself or yourself 5 years ago, or in this case, 20 years ago. So, I'm talking to the mid 40s, early 50s plus senior leadership, executives, Christian faith, high performance. She's the rock for her family. She's the rock for her team. She's working. She's not just working, she's doing it at work, at home, and the family. She's really carrying a lot of weight on her shoulders and spinning a lot of plates. And she might be doing it great. Okay. So this is not saying that well, she might be doing it great, but she might be saying, if one more thing gets on my plate, that's it, right? She's at the end of her capacity. Oh, I forgot about this. So I'm doing a coaching program with with Coach Judy Handworker. And there we go. So you gave me a great introduction, Becca. I would just say, because of my personal experience with these powerful nutrition products, that's what made the difference for me. I mean, holistic means body, mind, spirit. It means the entire lifestyle, right? But the first step that made the turnaround for me, because I'd been on a diet since I was 6, and I did the whole roller coaster, but every time I swung up, I gained more pounds back than I lost. And so what broke that cycle was it was Sanjeev Javia, and he was probably quoting Dr. Wallach, and he made this statement about people who were obese were undernourished, even though they were overfed. Did I say that right? Yeah. Overfed, but undernourished. And that flipped a switch in my brain. I said, ding, 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 ding. I got to learn about nutrition. I've got to learn how to feed my cells. And through that experience with getting the 87 out of the 90 essential nutrients, because all I had at the beginning was BTT. That's all I knew. And because that's all my friend knew that introduced me to the nutrition. But eventually, I added the full spectrum of the 90 essential nutrients, and I found out I built a framework called the 5 M's of total transformation: mindset, macronutrients, good food, bad food list, micronutrients, 90 essential nutrients, motion, and measurement, keeping track. And I love that we have so many health assessments that we can do, whether they are digital, whether they are, the facial scan, what I call that the wellness selfie, or, there's just so many things that we can do to make sure we're on the right road and to, like I said, keep track. All right, so because of that success, I'm also known as the 100-pound weight loss specialist, and very thankful for that. And I'm still on the road to optimal wellness. Now, Coach Judy, I invited her actually to come on, but she couldn't make her schedule work for today. But she's a certified fitness coach for individuals and groups. She's amazing. She's, I hope you do get to meet her at some point, because she brings a whole nother facet to the wonderfully whole lifestyle. So, and I love, she already spelled whole with the W before me, because she's, and when I asked her about becoming a certified holistic health coach, and we've talked about using the W when we use the word holistic, she was all for it. So we found out that we were like-minded. She's been on my podcast, I've been on her podcast, and we just decided we have to work together and build something for our community. So, like I said, hey, Coach Judy, I hope you get to meet her soon. But we are talking about, I call these my outward stars with inward scars. And publicly, she's reliable, high performance. Everyone counts on her. Privately, running on fumes. Willpower is dwindling. Feeling alone in her struggles, and really afraid of what she's experiencing in her body, and she wants some answers. And oh, at the bottom, I love that there's a gap between what she knows she's capable of and the energy that she has to perform what she knows she's capable of. And that gap is widening, and that's scary. How many of you experience a 2 p.m. crash, right? You hit a wall, your brain thought, like, please don't schedule a meeting at 3 o'clock, right? And of course, here we are. Thank the Lord for our brain support, right? Because I feel very energized right now. But sharpness declines, and she relies on coffee and maybe carbs and just sheer grit to get through the day. And when are you going to take care of yourself? And she might say, let me just get through this quarter, right? Now, can you believe it? We are 2 months into the first quarter. I can't believe how quickly 2026 is flying by. But if you're putting off something for the quarter, then that turns into, well, okay, that quarter, I still have to work next quarter, right? Okay, oh, well, just putting it off and off. And there's another reason that she might put things off, because when she does carve out time to go to the doctor and get her blood drawn and, really try to look for answers to what's going on, and her lab work comes back normal, and the doctor's like, well, everything looks normal. Well, she still doesn't feel right. Something's not right. And so she might even start feeling that it's a waste of her time to even try to get these answers, and she's stuck. So, but this is the scary thing, that she might notice not only the energy is slipping a little, but she starts having a little brain fart here and there. And I'll tell you, okay, you can tell me if you think I'm on the right track here, because I personally think, now maybe this is just be comforting to me, but I personally think that there's a difference between when you walk into a room and forget why you walked there, and you have to go back outside of the room, and then you remember. Okay, to me, that's an occupied mind, maybe an overoccupied mind. That's not necessarily a brain fart to me. Although, sometimes it's inconvenient to have to go in and out of the room. And you used to laugh at your aunties and your grandparents for doing it. But I didn't consider that a brain fart necessarily, but I remember my first brain fart. I was in Walmart and I had my card to scan, and you have to punch in your 4 numbers for the card. And as my finger lifted to go to the keypad, I couldn't remember the numbers. But by the time my fingers got to the keypad, I don't know if it was muscle memory or there was just a jump in there, and the numbers flowed through my fingers and it was fine. But I was acutely aware that my brain didn't do that in the past. Like, those were 4 numbers I never forgot, right? And so that was my first brain fart. That is when I really knew, okay, I need to listen to some of the brain support information. And thank the Lord, we've got some great brain support strategies, and I don't have brain farts like that. So, whew, very appreciative. But it was terrifying to me because I knew, like, just when I'm at the top of my game, my body just started to give me these signals like, you're not immune to this aging thing. And uh, like, I'm so thankful that I've found some answers, because who can relate to these things? I can relate to everyone running on empty, using coffee and carbs just to get through the afternoon, and then midnight fridge runs at home. At a meeting, you're not quite as sharp. Or, and I do revisit this particular issue maybe in the next slide, but no time for spending hours in the gym, no time for slaving for hours over the stove. And you want some advice, you want to know, okay, what supplements will help? I hear supplements help, but there are so many voices, there's so much advice, and it becomes confusing and overwhelming. And we know that a confused mind does nothing. But what does she want? She secretly wants presence. She wants to be, she earned her way into these rooms and into these seats. She wants to be fully present when she's there, so she can show up powerfully, show up strong. She wants to feel like herself again, sharp and energized. And she wants respect. She wants a solution that respects where she is in life and respects her schedule. And she doesn't want to have to become a certified holistic health coach. She wants to rely on a certified holistic health coach that has the information that she needs that will make a difference in her life. So why does she say no? Coach Junie and I talk all the time about friends and associates that we have that just say no. And, they're having chronic inflammation issues. They're having health issues that we know a few changes would help to support their bodies. But they're like, oh, as soon as you mention, for some people, a supplement or a wellness program or something like that, they're experts, right? Oh, I take vitamin D. Okay. Or they really feel smart. I take D and K. Like, so they're telling me, right, I've got this. Don't talk to me about your supplements. And I'm like, okay. And then they get worse, right? And then some of them actually have really bad consequences that maybe could have been averted. We don't know for sure, of course, but maybe supporting them on a cellular level would help to decrease some of the inflammation and some of the secondary results of the inflammation. But why do they say no? They're skeptical. There's so much out there, and they might have tried, they might have broken down and tried some things that had great promises, and they just didn't work. And so it was a waste of money. And then they become adverse to the sales pitch. Now, in general, in marketing, we say people love to shop, but they don't like being sold to. And so we have to be very careful as far as how we approach or how we present what we have, because we have a gift for them, but they need to be able to hear it. So sometimes, I find this in my life. If I can't even think in the I've actually had it happen where I would say hello to someone in my family, and as soon as I say hello, they're like, "Okay, don't be talking about that stuff." Like, I just said hello. Or my brother is actually on nutrition. He called me or he texted me and asked me for something. He asked me for a recipe for roasted sweet potatoes. He's like, I'm finding that I love these big roast sweet potatoes. Do you have any recipes? So I sent him some information about some of our spices and seasonings. And he's like, oh, there you go again. I'm like, you asked me. So they don't like, I mean, it can't be a sales pitch. All right. Time scarcity. Shoot, so many things take so much out of your day. So um, people get conditioned to believe that they can't move the needle, they can't change their health and their fitness without a huge time commitment. And sometimes all they need to start is just, get a little bit of nutrition in you. I call it the 7-second solution, like just 7 seconds, and drink it down or swallow it down or open a sachet of the on the go and reap the benefits, and then you get the buy-in, right? The other thing is just thinking that it's going to be so hard to make a difference in her life and that her whole life has to be overhauled. Now, there's a certain amount of truth to that because we do have a good food, bad food list. And so a pantry overhaul would be a great thing to do. But to start and to once you start feeling the benefits, I'm going by my personal experience as well as the experience of a lot of my clients. Just starting with getting the nutrition and feeling your body respond makes all the difference in the motivation piece. Then you're ready to make bigger changes. Right now, the first time, my first time, my first period of taking the nutrition, I took BTT religiously for 8 months. And in that 8 months, I lost 85 pounds. I didn't change my diet, you know, purposefully. All I did was take the nutrition. But I could tell it started changing my relationship with food. So when I had to go from if I had to go to the store or I had to go to at the drugstore, or, you know, whatever I had to do, my decision on which road I was going to take, because I lived down in the country, so there are only a few roads, was which fast food joint was on the way. Or if, you know, like that was my main decision maker. And I would find after a few weeks on the nutrition, oh, I've already passed Chick-fil-A or, you know, wherever. I'll just go home and eat. And I actually, I mean, if I could have looked at myself, right? I was like, what is that? Where did that thought come from? Go home and eat. Who are you? But I realized that the nutrition was changing my relationship to food. And it gave me just a little space to make a better decision than the ones I was in the habit of making. Or I found out later that my microbiome was trying to make for me, right? Because my microbiome was looking for this nutrition. Okay, so what happens? She blanks out during a high stakes presentation, or she gets home and realizes she's got nothing left for her family. And she has reached the breaking point. She says, I literally can't keep showing up like this. And, you know, that's a bad place to be, but it's a good place to be if that gets her over the resistance to doing something positive. And what I would love to get across is you don't have to wait till the breaking point. Make a good decision today, right? Just just do that one little step, the first step, and you know, then everything else will start falling into place. All right, but don't wait. Don't wait till you're at a breaking point. You know these things are happening. You know your body's changing. You know you need something. So I just want to encourage you that in this community, our strategies are evidence-based. They're simple. We respect you. We respect, you know, we know that you've been around the track a few times and you've tried things and you're intelligent. We're not just selling you a sales pitch or something like that, you know. And we hear you. Your fatigue is real, even if your labs are normal. And so we resonate with you, right? We were right with you before we learned a few things. So we want to take you, our exhausted overachievers, on a journey. And Coach Judy and I have a 90-day total transformation coaching program, but and I love, you know, the personas that we have. The exhausted overachiever is not on this slide, but from the drained disciple to the abundant minister, from the menopause navigator to the midlife maestro, from the burned out biohacker to the plateau buster, right? It's not random. There's a pathway that Coach Judy and I are taking people on, and it's a 9-step 90-day program that addresses mind, body, and spirit. So when I deal with the nutrition piece, that is step 6 of this 9-step program. And for mind, body, and spirit, every lap, we call taking the race car for laps around the track. Every lap has a detoxification, then a hydration, and then nutrition. So we detox the mind, hydrate the mind, flush, the debris, and then feed the mindset. Body, we detox the body, hydrate the cells, and then high performance nutrition, including the 90 essential nutrients. And then spiritually, we spend a lot of time on cleansing spiritual debris. Then we have the joy reservoir refill for hydration. And then our last step is the mission launch checklist, so that you are now ready to show up strong and complete your mission. So this is just another picture of the 9 steps, but each step has a roadmap, a cheat sheet, we call them. And like I said, step 6 is where we focus on nutrition. And that's often the first step that I introduce to people, just because for me, it made such a difference. And, mindset is crucial. The spiritual piece, crucial. But for me, getting my nutrition supported cleared room for me to address the mindset issues, because it really doesn't matter what you know. If information made a transformation in your life, everyone would be thin, rich, fit, right? But it's not just getting the information, it is applying the information. That's why it's so important to have a health coach, because your health coach helps you to stay on track, helps you to apply the information. And that's why Coach Judy and I really have this program put together, because we do a lot of group coaching, and it's really a supportive community. So get a health coach, right? Or be a health coach. So we have a 15-minute call where we call it since we're focusing on energy, the energy of the executive, the overworked executive, we're calling this the energy preview, but it's really just a 15-minute call with us to see, okay, I know I need some help. What's my next step? So scan the QR code or go to calendly.com/Dr. Lisa Singletary /energy or hyphen preview, and you'll be able to schedule 15 minutes with us. And other than that, whoever invited you, you've already said this, Becca, but whoever invited you to this call, do the same for them. Just get back to them, and they will help to navigate you through the pathway to optimal health, optimal wellness. So I love this Corvette. That's my
I
baby.
say you've got my dream car right there.
Oh, awesome. So thank you for giving me this time. And I haven't been looking at the chat. I don't know if there are any questions in the chat, but
We do have some questions, Dr. Lisa.
okay.
The first one, you mentioned you were only taking BTT.
Yes.
And the question is, what changes, which you did mention, I want to review this because I was taking the Tangy Tangerine, didn't know that I had to take and change my diet. I was actually taking the Pig Pack Plus, but I didn't know I had to change my diet. And the first 3 months, I lost 20 pounds. You lost a lot more in, what'd you say, 8 months?
Yep.
What else did you experience?
No, this is the secret, okay? And I get yelled at when so I'm reluctant to tell you how much I took, but I took it per 100 pounds of body weight. up to a point, because I don't even know, it's the grace of God, Becca. I don't even know where I heard that we dose our nutrition per 100 pounds of body weight. And so, and I actually, depending on which formula of BTT, sometimes I'll just dose the minerals per 100 pounds. Like personally with the Rise and Restore, until we get the Restore separate, till we can buy them separate, our bodies are different sizes, but all of our brains are the same. So I don't recommend doubling and tripling up on the Rise. Although I would triple up on the Restore in a heartbeat because I love the Restore. But anyway, that's me. Some people like the Restore better, some people don't like it. But
Well,
I've
got the Rise and the Osteo right here.
perfect.
So yeah.
So the key that helped me really experience the changes in my body were that I took enough. So I took like a triple dose of BTT. I bought 3 canisters a month. And I said that once on a Zoom, and I got such pushback. They're like, oh, that's too much vitamin A, or that's too much this, or that's too much. And I'm like, look, Dr. Wallach is smart. My body is smart. And when I did take more, because I was over 300 pounds, so I should have taken more. But when I did take more, my body let me know that, no, you don't need that much. And how did it happen? I think that was more in my taste buds. There was like, it was just different. Our tongues are chemical factories, right? So I just listened to my body. But and when I first took it, of course, the first time I took it, I was disappointed because I figured it would taste like Tang. So I tell people, this is not Tang, right? This is not a kid's drink, right? This is not, now this is a drink that astronauts should be taking, but so but I did it. I took it, I did it. And after a while, I looked forward to it. It was, oh, it's the most delicious thing. So, our taste buds adjust, but I think it's more than just adjusting. But our microbiome realizes, okay, this is good, right? Our good gut bacteria start to get a little traction in the battle between the microbiome wars with the bad bacteria fighting the good bacteria.
Yeah.
Right. Once the good bacteria start to get a little traction, the things change. So what I experienced was I wasn't really weighing myself because I weighed more than I could measure. And 8 months, the reason I remember it was 8 months because I woke up this day and I had to go to the doctor's office. And usually that's when I found out how much I weighed because I couldn't weigh myself in the doctor had actually I bought the little counterweight to take the maximum number on the scale from 300 to 350 or whatever it was. Just I had that counter because
the upgrade.
Yeah, because I couldn't. Now we're talking those old scales where
Yeah.
yeah,
The slider.
yep.
Yep.
So, but I had purchased some scales for the house, and it was the maximum was 400, and I had maxed that out. But I said, well, let me just see. And when I got on that scale, I was 325 or something. I don't remember the numbers exactly. I mean, I've written them down somewhere, but right. I don't remember right now but anyway, I was like, okay, great, 325. So the doctor will be able to weigh me, and I'll be able to confirm but I was excited for the weight loss. But then I thought, wait a minute, that means I've lost over 100 pounds, because I knew from the trajectory, and I knew my weight was going up, and I could plot it on a graph, and I figured, and I don't know this for sure, but I believe my maximum weight was around 435, somewhere in there. So once I hit 325, I was like, wow, I've lost 100 pounds. I was like, I didn't even try. All I did was nourish my body. And I was so, so excited. So I'm not saying it's going to be that easy for everyone that wants to lose weight, but I'm going to tell you, it makes a difference when you give your body what it needs. It will do amazing, amazing things. So yeah, I had less pain. I had less swelling. I had more energy. The seat belt fit better. When I got on the airplane, I didn't need the extension, right? Because I've had the experience where it was the worst. I was getting on a plane to go to uh, Africa, and we had a stopover in Holland, I think. But anyway, they told me to get off the plane. They walked me over to and I was in first class, right? They walked me to another plane, made me sit down, and prove that I could close the seat belt, without spilling over onto the next person. And, oh, it was humiliating, because the plane was full. The second plane, both planes were full. So I passed the seat test, but
Wow,
yeah, there
that would be something.
were changes, like uh, that it made such a difference. And people who don't have the issues of being overweight, they really don't know what it's like, right? And um, we went through a time where you could be fit and fat, in the medical. There was that whole discussion, and but just like, I was a whole different person than before
Yeah.
nutrition versus after nutrition. And so
Well,
I
it's
got off,
amazing.
yeah, I got off of all medications. Um, I added the keto diet. I added some, I tried different things that we have. Actually, I just ordered the GLP-1. Um, but on top of the 90, right?
Yes. You got to get your foundation first.
Absolutely. So, um, I love this journey. I love the journey. I love the people who are on the journey with me. I love sharing it, and I'm very thankful to be here today.
Yeah. Well, and when you give the body what it needs,
Mhm.
it gets out of that starvation mode that's holding on to everything it gets.
Mhm. Yes.
And it feels safe and releases. That's for me. I didn't have my weight gain until I was in my 40s, after the birth of my fourth son.
Mhm.
My mom, my sister, they had weight issues. And then I was like, wow, this is what they were experiencing. Because I had gained 120 pounds with the birth of my son. Well,
Mhm.
60 pounds, then almost immediate, within 6 months, another 60 pounds after he was born. You're supposed to lose it, right?
Right.
I
Right.
found it. But just giving the body what it needs. And the fact that
He
you
took
were
it all
just
out of
doing the
you. That's what
BTT.
happened. Those babies were little parasites. They sucked all the nutrition you had in your body out of you.
Yeah, that, and the body didn't want to hold on to any of them. So it was rough all four
Yeah.
times. And now I know it's because of nutritional deficiencies.
Yep.
But We have another question, and this one has to do with memory. So JC Pitts out on Rumble is asking, and I think you may know the answer to this. Can one get some memory return in late stages of Alzheimer's?
I can tell you a story. My mom had Alzheimer's disease, and she also had multiple sclerosis. So she was bedbound. My dad was wheelchair bound, and he had selective memory loss. I mean, his his memory loss just served him
Convenient?
perfectly, very convenient. But my mother, I watched her decline, and this is the thing about Alzheimer's, because there are different types of dementia.
Mhm.
And there's some types of dementia where you don't know you're losing it, you're just losing, you're just in another world. But Alzheimer's, it's like she knew her brain was failing her. And she was a principal of an elementary school. She was she was very, very high functioning. She was a district coordinator of camping in the Baltimore conference, and I mean all these things. Anyway, so she knew. Over the years I saw her decline, and she knew that her body and her brain were failing her. Her body from the MS, and her brain from Alzheimer's. And when she had kidney stones, and she was hospitalized with kidney stones, they did ultrasound lithotripsy to break up the stones, and they put her in rehab after that. And she could walk into rehab. She used canes, but she could walk. But when she came out of rehab, she was bedbound.
Mm.
And so she went from rehab to assisted living because of a friend of hers ran the assisted living and said, please let me take care of your mom. And it was like, okay, help me take care of her. It was terrible. So we brought her back home. But there were times when she was in assisted living for 1 year. And when we would bring her home just on visits, she was essentially non-communicative. If she said anything, it was there. I read this old book, and they called it roodling, where she would just say Z, 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 1, 2, 3, 3. Now, she taught in elementary school. I mean, she was a principal at elementary school. So all of her, she was like, if she hallucinated, it was like, we've got to feed the children. I'm like, what children? The children. We've got to feed everything was about the children. So it was precious. But we brought her home and started. Now, I didn't have longevity then, but I did have nutrition sense. So we started hydrating her, feeding her, and it was like a flower. It was like she just blossomed day by day. And a few months later, I asked her, do you remember being in that place? And she said, yes, I do. And I said, what did you think about it, being there? She says, about what you would have thought. That's as negative as she gets, right? But it was like, it was bad in there. So she came back. It was like, she came back.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. And sometimes she would have episodes where I would hear her, because my bedroom was not far. And I would hear, Lisa. And I'm like, okay. And Lisa. And then okay, I'm getting over. Lisa! And I'll go into her bedroom and I'll say, hey, Mom, how can I help you? She says, are you making as much progress as you wanted to make today? I said, yes, Mom, you are, I said, yeah, I'm making some progress. Oh, good. So, but
Wow.
yes, she made an amazing turnaround from being no words, right?
Yeah.
To conversation, memory, and a lot of that was love, but a lot of
Mm-hmm.
that was hydration and nutrition as well.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing. You get your love, you get your nutrition, makes a world of difference.
Absolutely. So yeah,
Well, I
depression plays a huge role in the cognitive function as well. So
mhm. Yep, absolutely. And on our topic today, the exhausted overachiever. All morning I have been listening to one of Dr. Wallach's lectures from 1995, where he talks about mental health and
mm,
nutrition and the deficiencies and the things that those deficiencies affect within our brain and our body.
mhm,
Folks, if you're exhausted and even if you're not an overachiever, you're exhausted, brain fog, struggling to get through the day, and you're not taking nutrition, this is your sign. It's time for you to listen to your body. It is screaming for attention, for love, and through that love, self-care that includes making sure you are getting the nutrition that the body needs, not just to get through the day, but to actually thrive.
yes.
Dr. Lisa, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you greatly, and you bring such a calming but colorful aura to our show, and we just thank you, thank you, thank you. And we do have a hand up, and Ruth Ellen, do you have a question coming in from one of the platforms?
I do. I have a question from Olga. Thank you, AJ. She says, what comes first, spiritual or physical? And then she also asks another thing. So why don't we go with that one first?
For me, the physical came first. I've been a spiritual person, um, you know, going to church. I mean, but the spiritual is what got me through the fatigue and but um nutrifying my cells, just like Becca said, let my body relax and release. And I'm sure there was detoxification in there, and there was, all the things. And I love the combination of the 90 essential nutrients because they are I know Ben, pharmacist Ben uses this word, multifunctionality, right? So um, you take one thing, you get 12 results, or you get 12 benefits, right? But the the stress of uncertainty, of not knowing, like, if I try this, will it help? Right? That's stress, right? Because you hear about these things and you're like, I should try that. I need to lose this weight. I need to get more energy. I need to do something. And I've spent so much money, and this it's a burden of its own to not know what to do, but to know you need a solution. So to have uh something that you can do on a daily basis. Doesn't take much time, and you don't have to, go out of the way to the gym, or just start with the nutrition, and your mind clears, and then you have room spiritually to take it to the next level.
Thank you. That was the only question. The other thing was a response to Olga. I know that for me, and Rebecca can attest to this, I've had a lot going on and had some issues with my brain for a little while. And the nutrition and support and getting back to my spirituality has made a massive difference for me. But the nutrition, I don't think I would be here right now if it wasn't for the nutrition at all.
That's powerful, but believable.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Thank you so much for being here. And that's all I have to say right now.
Oh,
Well, don't go away, because we're going to have the other co-hosts come on the screen with us. Because I'm so thankful, Dr. Lisa, that I do have an amazing, amazing crew. And we do get on early, and we do make sure that everything is set up. And we care enough about others to make sure that we are providing a show that is without distractions, that people can actually come in, listen, pay attention, without there being something that's taking them away from what we are sharing. Because, folks, plain and simple, you give the body what it needs. And that's not just food and nutrition. That does have the spirituality. I mean, if you don't have hope, then what is there to live for? Right? And having faith in something other than ourselves. Because if it's all about us, that's really stressful.
I don't know how people make it without faith. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's a tough one.
We are just so blessed. So I'm thankful.
That was one of my next words I was going to use. I am so blessed that, I have the hope, I have the faith, and I'm able to share it with others. And in the corporate world, I couldn't do that. So I'm so thankful to be here, and so thankful that each and every one of you are here, as well as you just invested just over an hour into your own health and wellness. So get back with the person that shared this program with you. Tell them thank you and say, hey, I need what they got. Because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of being an overexhausted overachiever, or exhausted overachiever, or you just don't want to get off the couch. There's more to life than that, folks. So thank you again, Dr. Lisa Singletary. Everybody, you can find her at drlisasingletary.com and get more information about her there as well. On the screen, we have with us today Ruth Allen, who is my executive production manager. Thank you so much, Ruth Allen, as she helps to keep us organized and make sure sound and video and everything works. Thank you. And we have Rod, who is helping to keep an eye on everything. He's a backup for our gatekeeper, just in case. So thank you, Rod, for being on with us today. We have Marilyn, who, folks, if you're here live with us, which we are live Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific, 1 to 2 Mountain, 2 to 3 Central, 3 to 4 Eastern, you will be able to benefit from the notes that Marilyn takes, as she does such a fabulous job here in the chat, and it's only available here in the chat, not shared anywhere else. So thank you, Marilyn. And Albert joining us from Candlelight, hoping that his phone doesn't die. before the show is over. So thank you so much, Albert, for all you do and showing up even when there's no electricity down in South Africa. Thank you, Albert. And we have AJ, another one that shows up all hours of the night when some crazy person has things they want to get done and his own. We have AJ, who is our digital marketing director. I got it right. Who is responsible for helping us be on all of the different platforms and the ideas to help us market and grow so that we can help and reach more people around the world. So folks, if you are hearing this message, it's for a reason. You probably can think of a few dozen people that might benefit from this show. So make sure that you share it with them. And also, no matter what platform you're on, if there's a way for you to make a comment, say hello, let us know where you're joining us from, please do. And subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have those notifications on so that as we do come live, you get a notification and you can join in to continue to learn how to go from surviving to thriving, because life is worth living. Again, my name is Becca Dukes. If you'd like more information about the Certified Holistic Health Coach program, which we mentioned here, Dr. Lisa Singletary is also a Certified Holistic Health Coach. So are everybody who's on the screen with me. You can get more information by going to coach.dailywithdoc.com. Again, coach.dailywithdoc.com. So folks, until next time, tomorrow, Friday, we have Pharmacist Fridays with pharmacist Ben Fuchs, as we're going to be doing more question and answer. Dr. Lisa, close us out.
We want the exhausted overachiever to be able to show up strong to complete and carry out her mission, whether she's called to family, executive, corporate world, charity, wherever she's called, she needs to be strong so that she can carry out her purpose. So we can start with the 90 essential nutrients step by step.
And she can also be that mom taking care of all those lovely, precious jewels by herself or with somebody.
The hardest job.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody, have a fantastic day. We'll see you tomorrow on Daily with Doc and Becca. Bye for now. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach.
This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach.